Hi everyone, this is Molly Friendo, your Anthropology 103 instructor, and this week we are going to be talking about religion and culture and thinking about how people's religion and spirituality affect their relationship to culture. Religion is defined as belief and ritual concerned with supernatural beings, powers, and forces. As a formal social institution, religion provides people with coherence, meaning, direction, social identity, and temporary or permanent unions. Religious pluralism developed in North America as people fled countries where religious diversity and dissent were not respected. The mix of religion and politics is a controversial topic, given the constitutional separation of church and state. While most Americans say they believe in God, and most hold some sort of religious affiliation, the U.S. government holds no official religious view and does not promote any one viewpoint over another. People often assume that the founding fathers of the U.S. were Christians. On the contrary, many of them were deists. Deism is based on the idea that there is a God and that this God grants people the ability to construct rational thoughts and thereby govern themselves. In the United States, we believe in the separation of church and state. While no American should be excluded from politics because of his or her religious views, some leaders who claim to be victims of religious bigotry are themselves guilty of belittling opponents because of religious differences. The mixture of politics and religion has taken on the form of a perceived war between the Christian fundamentalists of the religious right and liberals or special interest groups. Fundamentalists share the perception that dominant social institutions have little use for their values with marginalized civil rights groups like homosexuals, feminists, and people of color. Like other groups, fundamentalists also come together to work on influencing elections and public policy. Religion links up with the media and politics, especially through the spread of televangelism, the internet, and talk radio. Historically, religion has been a potent force for social union and division. As a formal institution, religion provides people with coherence, meaning, direction, social identity, and temporary or permanent unions. Religious rituals are distinguishable because they are formal, stylized, and stereotyped. People perform religious rituals in sacred places and at set times. Rituals convey information about the participants and their traditions, and they can be a powerful force for mobilization. Some religious rituals include baptism, Seder, or First Communion. Ritualized changes in status and identity are most often expressed through rites of passage associated with change from one place, condition, status, or stage of life to another. Contemporary rites of passage include confirmation, baptism, bar mitzvahs, fraternity or sorority initiation rituals, sweet sixteens, quinceañeras, and graduation. All rites of passage have three phases. First, separation, in which the participant withdraws from ordinary society. Second is margin, which is the phase between two states, also known as the liminal stage. And finally, aggregation, where the participant re-enters into society having taken on their new role. Liminality is characterized by ambiguity in social position. The most notable aspect of collective or group liminarity is called communitas, in which the participants have an intense group of community spirit, a feeling of great solidarity, equality, and togetherness. Liminality may be marked ritually and symbolically by reversals of ordinary behavior. Symbols may be used to set off one group from another and from society as a whole. Based on people's claimed religion, Christianity is the world's largest religion, followed by Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, atheism, and Chinese traditional religion. More than 1 billion people claim no religion or are atheists, and worldwide, Islam is growing faster than Christianity. Protestant values have significantly influenced American culture and society. As a world-rejecting religion, Protestantism tends to reject the natural world and focus on a higher realm. This is shown by the dominating view of the afterlife. Protestantism allows the individual to be responsible for his or her salvation, as opposed to a priest, etc. And this is a close fit with capitalism and American culture. Early Protestants saw success on earth as a sign of divine favor and predestined salvation. This is known as the Protestant work ethic. While today, people of many religions are successful capitalists, there's no denying that the individualistic focus of Protestantism was compatible with the severance of ties to land and kin that the Industrial Revolution demanded. If the faithful truly internalized a system of religious rewards with punishments, their religion becomes a powerful means of controlling their beliefs, behaviors, and what they teach their children. Many people engage in religious activity because they believe it works and that lives can be transformed through spiritual healing and rebirth. But religion also works through sacred force, but by getting inside of people and mobilizing their emotions. Religion works through sacred force, but also by getting inside people and mobilizing their emotions. Religion has been used to justify many wars and political policies. However, religion may also be used as a tool of resistance. For instance, under slavery in the American South, masters taught portions of the Bible stressing compliance, while slaves seized the story of Moses, the Promised Land, and deliverance. Religion maintains a social order, but it also can be an instrument of change, sometimes even revolution. In response to conquest or foreign domination, religious leaders may seek to alter or revitalize a society. Such movements are known as nativistic movements or revitalization movements. Overall, North America has witnessed a decline in formal organized religions and a rise in secularism. Secular humanists and atheists, like members of religious groups, are organized and use various media to promote collectivity. The collapse of a traditional religious institution has spurred some middle-class people to turn to new forms of spiritualism. These new social movements include the appropriation of native symbols and practices, which is politically a controversial topic, as well as the reproduction of various New Age and neo-pagan beliefs and organizations. The New Age movement, which emerged in the 80s, draws on and blends cultural elements from multiple traditions and advocates change through individual personal transformation, rather than through political action. Its adherents are mainly white, middle to upper class, middle-aged, and college-educated. Not all would-be religions are recognized. For example, the U.S. recognizes Scientology, but Germany does not. In many nations, unofficial religions are marginalized and at least partly hidden. Intolerance is often expressed in stated doubts about quote-unquote true religious nature. Since individuals make creative and interpretive use of pop culture, it's possible for apparently secular settings, things, and events to acquire intense meaning. Those who define ritual broadly might view a cultural text such as football not only as a sport, but also as a public ritual. Many Americans seek apparently secular contexts as rock concerts, movies, and sports, what people find as religious rites, beliefs, and ceremonies. For example, the rave youth subculture can be compared to other spiritual subcultures that claim altered states of consciousness. For this week's discussion board, we'll ask you to think of a secular or non-religious thing that's acquired religious meaning for you. For example, you might talk about graduation, you might talk about a specific ritual that you have in terms of getting ready for the week or getting ready for a large event or something that your family does every year, but something that clearly follows the various patterns and stages of religious rituals that we talked about this week.